Two things stand out. One, mayor, being mayor for 16 years, takes a lot of dedication. And two, his firefighting. I mean, that's a special person to do that. Gives up a lot of family time, faces a lot of difficult situations.
But I just remember growing up and my dad being involved, so I kind of thought it'd be cool to also be involved. And the more I researched it, I kind of thought, geez, you know, I wouldn't mind doing this for a living. So I started out as a volunteer and in 1991. And then about 1997, I got hired full-time with Rainier and have been there ever since. 2007, I got promoted to lieutenant, and then in 2017, I got promoted to captain. One of the questions I often get asked is, you know, how did you start off? You know, what drove your passion to be a volunteer or give back to the community? It goes back to when I was a kid, and I grew up out in Goble. I'm a Goble elementary alumni. Not very many people could say that anymore. I grew up around the Beaver Homes Grange, and that was an organization that always gave back to the community. My grandma and my mom was involved, and my grandma would drag me to everything. You know, we'd flip burgers at the fair, and you know, I always just remember giving back to the community and how good it felt. I just kind of kept doing that. You know, it's always been important to me.
One thing I know for sure that shows his heart and his dedication to the community. He's very active in Rainier Days. He's also just recently been very involved with the lower A Street renovations and bringing new businesses in. We've just opened Dollar General and Grocery Outlet, which is huge for our community.
Since about 2004, I always had this vision of having a grocery store. You know, and finally that happened. I never let go of that dream. Personally, I took over Rainier Days about 7 years ago. The Eagles ran it for about 12 years. And they came to me and said, hey, you know, we're not going to do Rainier Days anymore. Sorry. And at that time, I went home and talked to my wife about it. I said, you know, the community really looks forward to Rainier Days. We have to keep it going. So at that time, I took it over. I just put out a flyer saying, hey, if anybody wants to help with Rainier Days, meet me down at City Hall. We're going to do this. And we pulled it off. You know what, I think the number one thing that I look forward to with Rainier Days is just seeing people you haven't seen all year.
It's turned into this big event, and it brings people from all over, and it brings people back to the area that have moved away. So it's nice. I think that really gives opportunity for our businesses and just people to run into each other. It's just a good hometown event.
We can't pull it off without our dedicated volunteers that help with the event, as well as our sponsors. We couldn't do the event at all without our sponsors as well. One of the things that I've always been an advocate for is people being able to get a hold of me. You know, day one when I became involved, everybody had my cell phone number. You know, I mean, one of the things that I want to hear people say is, you know, if they're like, hey, is this really going on? I want people to say, well, I don't know, did you call Jerry? You know, did you ask Jerry? He'll tell you. You know, transparency is really important to me. It doesn't matter what it is. I want people to know what's going on.
Jerry just, I think, reaches out. He always posts things on Facebook and keeps everybody involved, and I like to see that as a citizen, and I appreciate that.